Before we begin our podcast, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For Cass, it's the Borragagal people, and for Hailey, it's the Dharawal people.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth. Hi there, this is not Jennifer Coolidge, and that was my audition for Rita Repulsa in the new Power Rangers Gay Force. It's all full of homosexuals. Anyways, I'm not sure if I can talk about that. So in the meantime, listen to Drag Me Out Official and talk about that with your friends.
This video is not sponsored by Jennifer Coolidge or Power Rangers, but supported by a flaming Midwestern homosexual with nothing better to do at this time.
And listen to the podcast, dumbass.
Now, a quick word from our unsponsored sponsors.
Do you want to go to sleep with a different celebrity every night? Do you ever think of smothering someone, but your pillow is too basic? Then we have the perfect pillowcases for you. Hero Huggers by Rennie. Hero Huggers by Rennie encourages testing on animals. According to the scientists at Drag Me Out University, they have proven results that people who purchase Hero Huggers by Rennie improve their sleep by 83.768%. Phones are ringing off the hook with orders, so get yours now. Or alternatively, go to Hero Huggers by Rennie on Etsy. Sleep soundly knowing your heroes are right next to you. Hero Huggers by Rennie, where heroes lie. No animals were harmed during the making of this commercial. No one at Drag Me Out Official has a science degree, but they have watched things about Scientology. No research has been done to support these statistics except our own biased opinion. Pillow not included.
I just forgot the name of the show. Okay, I got it. All right, everyone, welcome to Drag Me Out. I think I'm Grumpy Barbie this week. I'm Cass. And you are?
Functional Barbie. I'm going functional Barbie.
You're going functional? You're actually having a decent week, are you?
Yes.
That's great. That is fantastic. And we are here to talk some pancreas shit, some drag race shit, some conspiracy theory shit.
Oh, I forgot.
Regular shit. For however long Hailey deems this episode to be lengthwise. Cass is not exactly in the best frame of mind to be doing this week, but you know what? Let's just roll with it. How is your week? How is your week?
So this week, to piss off my husband, I am going to be pointing out the parts of his head that he's going bald. Stay toxic, ladies. So actually, I've cracked the service industry. I've cracked it wide open.
Okay.
As you know, bought a house, homeowner now. Thank you.
I know, yep. And Scottish slumlord.
And yes,
Let's
Scottish
not forget.
slumlord. I've got a bunch of, I was going to say leprechauns, but that's Irish.
It's Irish, yeah.
And potatoes, that's also Irish. What is Scotland? I got Loch Nessie. I'm building a home for you.
Loch Ness, unicorns, and thistle.
I'm getting quotes for different things, and I'm getting quotes for my house to be painted. Contacted a friend of a friend, said, look, this is the measurements. I gave him like the floor plan, which they have on the real estate website.
Yep.
And I think this included the trims, the doors, the ceiling. I hope it does. It's not outside, it's all interior. And just the walls, no feature walls. I think that's what this quote included, because it was $10,000 to just paint the inside. Anyway, so I was like, don't really want to spend that. So I then contacted someone else, friend of a friend again. I said, how much interior? I said, the same stuff. I don't need the garage done. I don't need the trims or the doors done. And I just want a base coat. I'll give you the color. It's pure white now. You won't have to do anything to it. And I got between 4,500 and 5,000. I'm like, that's better. So I sent her another message. I'm like, I can do cash, 2,600. Like, done. I'll see you there. So I've just cracked the service. I'm just going to offer cash to everyone. I'm having another 2 quotes from a wardrobe company who is like a family owned. It's not one of those chains. So I'm hoping, like, how much for cash? And get maybe a little discount. I'm just gonna throw cash at everybody now. Cash. Because it saved me, first of all, 8,000 and then pretty much half. That's how I know the government's fucking us, because that's just like, this is a free day for them. They buy the materials, including paint, by the way. So yes, cracked the service industry. I'll be offering cash for everything now. Much easier, even though they're trying to make us a cashless society. Okay, so because I've been working with banks and I've been looking at different banks and where we've decided to go with NAB, and you used to work in banks, right?
Yes.
I want to know, because I was testing my husband, I want to know if you know your acronyms. I have them here.
It's been 23 years, but let's try it. All right.
I'll
I don't
start
even know
off-
if we had acronyms back then.
I'll start you off with some easy ones. So we go ANZ,
Australia, New Zealand,
NAB,
National Australia Bank,
CBA,
Commonwealth Bank of Australia,
BOQ,
Bank of Queensland,
yes, RBA.
Reserve Bank of Australia.
Yep. All right, now we're getting to the hard ones. HSBC.
That's the Hong Kong Bank, but I can't remember what the acronym is for.
I need the full acronym, please.
Hong Kong San Banking Corporation.
Hong Kong Shanghai Bank of China.
Dang.
ING.
Do we even know what that acronym is?
We do. Well, I do now because I
Okay.
Googled it, but
Okay. ING.
Hmm?
It's the one with the lion. International nunny. I don't know. I've got no idea.
it's International Nederlanden Group. So Netherlands, I'm guessing. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Dutch. Yeah. AMP.
Australian Mutual Partners.
Close. Provident is the last word. And then my bank that I'm with now, ICU. Which
I
I've
see
told
you too. I see you too.
Which whenever I Google
It's
comes
the
up with intensive care unit.
It's the Illawarra Credit Union.
Correct, yes. But anyway, I thought the ING and the AMP were the hard ones. Everything else.
Hey,
yeah.
I was 66% on the AMP.
And that's all this for this week.
Wonderful.
How was your week?
It was a little up and down. It was good. Being employed is always good. Some internal stuff that we've had to deal with, not so good. Got my legs waxed yesterday. Saw the lovely Anesta. I think she took more skin off this time. Been feeling a bit. Did a little bit of shopping, not a lot, just a little bit. I knew you were going to ask me about my week when I was having a shower this morning, and I can't. There you go, viewers and listeners. Imagine me having a shower. And I had everything prepared, and I couldn't remember. I can't remember what I was thinking. I did this. I can't remember. It was just an hour.
I feel like we haven't done this for a while, but what's your hyperfixation meal for this week?
Ooh, how many? I've actually had a couple, but I was craving Sayos with butter and jam this week, and I got that, and it was everything I wanted and then some. The other thing that I've been craving that I thought I might be able to get at the airport when we go down to Melbourne, but I Googled their menu and I can't. I want a lime milkshake or a lime thick shake, and Krispy Kreme don't do them
anymore.
ever.
Oh, because
I don't think
I remember you getting a milkshake when
it
you
was the
did
Blue
last-
Haven, and they've still
Yeah.
got those.
Okay.
So it looks like it's going to have to be Blue Haven if I want a milkshake. But I've been desperately trying to get my hands on a lime milkshake. What about
So-
you?
So right now it's grilled chicken with rainbow coleslaw and corn chips. And also the dressing is, I paid a little bit of money for it, but it's this like clear bottle. It's like it's honey garlic sort of dressing. It's in the aisles at Woolies. That's what makes it, gives it a little bit of tang, and it's got a bit of crunch. It's kind of like the chicken, you get them at KFC now. They do those, they're like round chicken salads, and then they put corn chips in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, but obviously a little bit healthier. And I don't have the spicy mayo because I don't like spicy mayo. So yeah, I've been having those the last couple of days.
Oh, I tell you what I had a craving for last night, though.
Hmm.
Beef ribs. Beef ribs. I want some beef ribs. Oh, bless your heart. Look at you go.
No,
So
one
beef
more.
ribs. Stop it.
All right, done.
Yeah, so beef ribs. I've been craving some beef ribs. Maybe we can facilitate that down in Melbourne. I don't know.
Sharesies? I'll share beef ribs. I don't want to do pork. I'll share beef ribs though.
No, beef ribs.
Yeah.
Beef ribs. Yeah, 100%. Done. We just need to make sure that we find a place that has beef ribs.
Correct.
Yeah. So, because we know they listen to this. Ego, Jane, Riri, and Mark/Matt. We need to find a place that has beef ribs, please. Beef ribs.
Just want to say, if we do find a place with beef ribs, Mark, if you order carbonara, I'm going to stab
We got to
you in the
kick your
face.
fucking ass. We discovered this thing. I don't eat burgers very often. We jumped on Uber a few weeks ago to have a look, and there's a new place that's open. So part of their opening deal, and they still got it, is you get 2 for 1.
Mhm.
Right? So they have this really nice, kicks KFC's ass when it comes to a chicken burger.
Oh, that's
fillet
not hard
burger.
though.
But this is what I'm saying, right? So, so 2 burgers are like $11.50. Pretty good, right?
Mm.
And then the missus said to me, "Oh, can I get some chippies soon?" I went, "Yeah, sure." So I thought I'll get a dipping sauce just for if I want 1 or 2 of the chips, and it was a Coca-Cola barbecue sauce. Game changer. Saying it right now. Coca-Cola barbecue sauce. You know what? I'm actually through the week going to buy a couple of those burgers, and I'm going to get some of the sauce, and I'm going to bring it down to Melbourne.
Okay.
It's fucking good. It's so good. Dunskies. Oh yeah. So yeah. No, let's share these beef ribs. Beef ribs.
Oh, my pancreas.
So this week, has there been anything in particular that has caused your pancreas to become
Yep.
inflamed?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It has. We're very, very appreciative of our small subset of fans that we have accumulated over the last 11 months, 10, 11 months. We are truly grateful for you. We love you. We know most of you, or we're related to most of you, or we're good friends with most of you. But there are some people who wander in and out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. I cannot stress this enough when I tell you that we do this podcast and this YouTube thing for free. We also do it for other reasons, and the other reasons being it kind of keeps us a little bit sane. It's something for us to do with some of the spare time that we have. It's a little bit of fun, a little bit of mucking around. If anything comes of it, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you're somebody who comes in and you listens to it, we don't get a lot of feedback from you guys. But if you come and see it on the YouTube, it's an open fucking forum. And I completely get that. And we have asked in the past that anything that you want to say, even if it's bad, please make it constructive. We can't learn unless it's constructive. Do not come on there and say things like, what the fuck are those two flags at the beginning? I'm sorry, uneducated buffoon. That is the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags. I know the flags of Indigenous cultures in other countries. You should educate yourself and do the same fucking thing.
Also, it's
That's
pretty
number one.
outlined.
It is, because we have the disclaimer read by my lovely wife at the beginning.
Mhm.
The second thing is also, if you have anything bad to say, I highly suggest you fucking keep it to yourself unless it's constructive, because you know what? If you want your fucking money back for watching it, you can have it. Oh, guess what? You don't pay. It's free. All right? It's free. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Do not fucking rain on my parade. Do not fucking extinguish my buzz, because this is something that I enjoy doing. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. Simple as that. I don't fucking care for your opinion unless it's constructive. Having said that, if you're watching it and giving us a bad opinion, you're still giving us a view, dickhead. What about you?
I actually have a problem with one person.
Many. Oh,
Yeah,
is it
one-
me?
No,
Are we facing off?
not this week.
Okay, cool.
I think last week was enough of you yelling at me.
When was I yelling
So-
at you? Oh, when I did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I still refuse to accept your fucking, yeah. Anyway,
So, never met this person.
fucking
know.
hate him already.
I know her name, and I'm going to call her out. Her name
Yeah.
is Patricia. Now,
Pat, you dirty scrag. What has she done?
I have had my current mobile number for 5+ years,
Okay.
and I am still receiving phone calls for Patricia from real estates in Perth. So I think this fucker is going around and giving her old number away. So, because you know, when you do go to house inspections or whatever, you give them your number. So I think that's what she's doing, what she done be doing. And if Patricia, if I ever fucking meet you or find out what your number is, I'm signing it up to everything. I'm putting it all through a Pornhub. I'm doing it.
Pat, you're a dirty toe rag. Stop giving out the wrong fucking number.
Yes. I used to give out like my number, but I just changed the last digit.
The last digit. That's
Yeah.
that's classy. That's classic and classy.
But I'm getting more and more annoyed. So they're like, "Oh, hello, is this Patricia?" I'm
Can
like,
I
"No."
can
Yeah.
I devil's advocate for a second?
Yep, go.
We strongly apologize, Patricia, if you're dyslexic. we also strongly apologize, Patricia, if you're sitting there going, why doesn't anyone ring me?
Because her husband called me.
Oh,
Like,
that's right.
yeah.
Dirty fucker. Pat, you're a dirty toe rag again. Sorry.
Like, this is going back a couple of years now, and he was convinced that I was his wife until I asked for money, and he's like, "Oh, maybe you're not."
my,
like, the
wife
dirt-
doesn't- my wife knows that I don't have any money. You
I
can't be
told
her.
him, like, "You're not my husband." He's like, "Yes, I am," and I'm like, No, you're not. We could go all day if you want." And I'm like, "Fine, send me money then." But yeah, Patricia, I fucking hate you. You fucking scrag.
Mhm.
Stop giving out my number. Because if I
You're a dick.
find your actual number, I'm actually going to I'm going to sleuth this. I'm going to try and get Patricia. She obviously works in real estate because she goes there often.
Mm.
Thinking there's a Patricia in Western Australia that I'm going to find. I'm going to be like, change your fucking number. Because whoever calls me and asks for Patricia, I'm like, no, you have the wrong number. And if you ever find Patricia, update the number because I'm getting the shits. And Patricia,
Okay.
I know you got my number. I know you got it. Fuck you, Patricia.
You're a toe rag. You're an insignificant ass hair. You're an ass hat. Learn your number. Stop it.
Hate you.
Is this going to be one of those episodes? is this going to be the one that goes viral where like it just says dirty fucking lesbian has conniption fit on YouTube channel? Is it going to be that one?
Fuck you,
So,
Patricia.
fucking
Emphasis.
dirty bitch. You're a dirty bitch, Pat.
Dirty fucking
Pat McGroin.
right up there with Pippa Froggett.
Pippa Froggett's fucking legend. Knock it off. Okay, so what are we up to now? We've done the pancreas.
Yep. We're up to the 3 amigos.
We are the 3
Cut out. Complete silence. I'm sitting in complete silence.
amigos.
Yeah, I got amigos.
Yeah.
So a little bit of the plot. It's made in 1986. 3 out-of-job actors travel to a Mexican village thinking that they're being asked to reprise their famous roles as the 3 Amigos, which is a silent film, but find out that the village is being actually attacked by bandits.
El Guapo.
El Guapo. What? So, Dusty Ray Bottoms, is that a homage to Dusty Bottoms?
Sure.
Because I've never seen it. So when he said his
I
name
saw Dusty, and when I saw Dusty Ray Bottoms, I went straight to 3 Amigos in my head. So
okay, maybe because where else would? Yeah, and yeah, so it's Dusty Bottoms, Ned Nederland. I feel it should be pronounced Nederland, but it's Nederland, and Lucky Day, which is obviously Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase, and. You can elaborate.
I watched it again because I had to. I mean, I actually went and saw this at the movies in like 1986, 87.
Wasn't born then, but go on.
Fine. Just makes me more experienced. I don't get offended when you say, I just go, huh, that means I know more.
Oh yeah, you definitely know more.
So, you don't realize at the time until you watch it again. And I've watched it a couple of times, but not for a long time, at least 20 years. The scene where they're getting fired from the movie company, the amount of talent in that room.
I know.
Was unbelievable. Joe
know.
Mantegna, Phil Hartman, John Lovitz, and the 3 stars. Like I was sitting there watching it this morning going, Jesus, they have no one had any idea what kind of genius was in that room when they were filming that movie. It was unbelievable. So yeah, lovely little Mexican girl and her little Mexican brother, their town of Santa Poco. Is it Santa Poco? Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Is being basically destroyed by their Mexican overlord El Guapo. Go to a movie and they see the 3 Amigos in the movie, and I actually thought of you when I said to you last week, you know, not being able to distinguish the real world from the movie and crossovers and stuff. So she sends a telegram. Basically, she believes that they're these great, let's save the world people. And they ask them to come down to help. There's a German guy who makes El Guapo scared. I don't. Now that I've seen it again, I'm not entirely convinced that his character was necessary. Okay. They have their showdown with El Guapo's guys. They believe that they're actually doing a show as an entertainment show. The guys go, this is stupid, let's get out of here. They think everything's all great. And then the next day, El Guapo turns up with like 30 of his little minions with him. And then one of them shoots Lucky in the arm. And when Steve Martin goes over to talk to them, and then he realizes that it's actually real. And then he's explaining it to the other two, and they're having their little crying moment. Still made me chuckle. I mean, I know my opinion. We both know that our opinions do not always mesh. What did you think?
So it had its moments. It was funny, and they were very lax about the whole raping thing. Like El Guapo is going to make you his bride, and then she's like, "So I'm going to tell you how El Guapo makes love." And she's like, "Do you know anything about foreplay?" She's like, "No." Good. Now that does El Guapo. And I'm like, they're very lax about that sort of topic. And I get it was supposed to be a funny movie, but like she was almost a child, I guess. A little bit child bride-ish. But anyway, it was a different time in 1986. I don't know about it. Thank you, Winston or Phineas, whoever that was.
That was Winston.
Look, I liked it. And I'd probably give it 3.5 toasts.
That's great. I mean, it gave us, and I still have used this from time to time, you son of a motherless goat. I have been known to use it probably in the last 5 years.
Because they're actually going to get Steven Spielberg to direct this movie, sorry. But he chose E.T. instead.
Well, that kind of worked out for him, didn't
Probably
it?
a better choice.
Probably. But yeah, on your Stevie Spielberg, well done. Good choice. I liked it. I still like it. If I was to be rating it, I would probably give it 3.5. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when they're singing, when they're camping out at night, when the animals are coming to watch them and stuff, I forgot that scene was in it, and it's still cute.
Yeah,
the
and
horses like
the horses are
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and it captures all three of their talent. You know, they actually can all sing pretty well. When they're describing what they do, and they're like, "My little buttercup," like when they're in the bar. Yeah, still a good movie. So next week, next episode, sorry, is it next week? Probably. Is going to be Father of the Bride 1.
So if you just want to do Father of the Bride 1 and 2, I'm happy with that. I can do 2.
Sure.
Yeah, so Father of the Bride 1 and 2. And then we'll be going on to Only Murders in the Building after Expo.
I actually thought you were going to say, and then we'll be going on tour to Melbourne. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Okay, actually, take that back.
Where is she going with this sentence?
We're going on tour to Melbourne for the weekend. So if you want to come say hello, come and say hello.
Around. Yeah. If you can't find us, if you can't find me, if you want to just say hello to me and tell Hailey to go fuck herself. If you can't find me in the actual hall, I'll be out having a smoke. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
So that brings us to RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under season 3, which premiered on Friday.
Yep. It sure did.
I don't know if it's because it's the Australian, but I'm invested.
I just said the same thing to my wife last night when we watched it. I went, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I'm in. I don't know if it's because we've got like 9 degrees of separation from these queens now.
I don't even think it's 9 degrees. It's like 1 degree.
But do you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Like we're kind of in the mix with them. Yeah.
So
I'm in. I am in.
I'm in. I just want to go through the entrances. So Hollywood Star and who they are. So Hollywood Star I met at Drag Expo in Melbourne the previous year. Yep. She was in my book that I had, but I didn't get her to sign it because she was kind of walking around with that air of London noir. Like I didn't feel I could approach her.
That was the vibe I got from her as well. And then I got the vibe when they went into because I remember Hollywood Star from last year too. And then
So that
when she
must have
came
been
into
when
the
she just
workroom,
started
mm,
because she's only done it for a
well,
year
then
and a
maybe
couple
it was
months.
nerves
Could have been.
more than standoffish. Maybe it
Yeah.
was nerves because it may have been the first big drag thing that she had done.
Mm.
But she is actually an entertainer.
Yeah.
So she was in a touring, some big theatrical production that was touring. I can't remember what it is. So she actually has like musical theater experience.
So then comes in the ever acclaimed Ashley Madison. Now,
We're probably going to be meeting her in 2 weeks, so I'm going to go, well done for getting on Drag Race.
I'm sure that she regrets wearing those pants. I don't know why no one told her.
Maybe they wanted to set her up for failure.
But if she just patted her ass, they probably wouldn't have fell down. But she had a flat
Exactly.
pancake ass.
Exactly.
Also, coming out of the gate with the allegations, like,
Not going to make yourself any friends or fans there, sugar tits.
so then Floor, Guatemalan, got attacked by a fly.
Are
It was
you
hilarious.
afraid of my watermelonness, my heat, my natural heat?
Also, they sat to the left this time. Usually they sit to the right.
No, they always sit to screen left. In
Hmm.
All Star, in Down Under.
Oh,
because
right, in
it's-
Down Under.
Everything's opposite.
Everything's
It's opposite.
backwards. The toilets
Everything's
go
backwards.
backwards. Everything. Ivory Glaze does not
This
like
year's
Ashley
Yuri.
already.
This year's Yuri.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Doesn't like Ashley already.
Nope.
Amel forgets her line. Thought that was fucking hilarious.
Forgot a line. Forgot just about everything in her confessionals.
Ivana Drink, Anita's partner. I've written in brackets, my favorite. Don't know why.
I have her in the meh category. I have other favorites.
And I thought you would immediately put Hollywood Star in your bottom because of the shade she threw at Spanky Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I heard
It
that.
is my mission. It is my mission this season to will Hollywood Star out before the top 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we had Isis Avis Loren.
Mhm.
Her nose contour annoys me. Giving me Miss Cracker vibes. And then also made a comment about Ashley's reputation being a bitch.
Yes.
That's the second queen to do that.
Mhm.
Read a menu. Then Bumper Love. 51 looks great.
Black don't crack.
Right.
Polynesian bitch. My wife's 51.
But then Ashley called her delusional because Bumper Love was Ashley's ex-boss. I don't know.
Shade starting early. I think that's why I'm in.
I think that's why I'm in too.
Yep.
Then Gabriella Labucci.
Came in as a knitting basket, basically.
I wrote she came in with farts on her boobs. Oh yeah, because she had whoopee cushions on her boobs.
Yep.
And Hollywood, being Hollywood, was a bit shady towards her. The friendship bracelets were a bit cute.
I thought it was cute too. Ungrateful hoe bags, the fucking lot of them. And Floor, like, just fucking put it like, no, I'm sorry. Like, fuck. You don't have to be that much of an asshole. Like, you know that. Here's the thing. They know that people are going to see this shit and they fucking do it anyway. It doesn't make us like you.
No.
It makes us think that you're an asshole because we actually do. I'm not on the Floor train.
No, neither am I.
Not on it. No.
So I'm just confused. Did Ashley borrow her clothes? Why aren't they fitting?
We were talking about this morning, right? And my wife came up with a very interesting. She said to me, she said, how much notice do they get between you're on Drag Race to filming? Right?
Well,
It's
if we
like
go off
3 or 4
people-
weeks.
if we go off people, yeah, but when you audition, you have to basically have your outfits ready to go.
Yeah, but you can make amendments.
Of course you can.
So maybe this was just one of those things where someone goes, you know what, I got something else for you. And then they didn't have the time to do the fittings and the alterations
And
or
don't
whatever
take
it
it.
was.
Don't take it.
Well, exactly. Like at least try everything on before you throw it in a suitcase, you silly fucking drag
Also,
queen.
they have sewing machines in the workroom, so you could have, unless she doesn't know how to sew.
Well, see, the other thing is that she wouldn't have been able to do that until she got into the workroom, and by then the look would have happened and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But get some fucking, your pillows in the hotel, fucking cut them out, cut the shit out from it, whatever it is, pack it into like a stocking or something like that, shove it down your fucking back of your pants so that way you can fill the pants out.
Mhm.
And then like, what was the white thing she was wearing under
I'm
it?
guessing it was like stockings of some form, or like a sucky in for her pads, I think. Like, you know how they pad themselves. So maybe
It's
that
just,
nah.
yeah, I couldn't. I was,
And her
it was-
hair was horrible too. Like, what's the wig? It was like a half mullet, half Karen haircut. I was very confused. But she's been
Mhm.
working in this industry for quite some time, so I was I was expecting more.
Could she be this season's Spanky Jackson?
No, because she's got
That's
money.
probably more Gabriella Labucci.
Yeah, I think so too.
But the thing about Gabriella Labucci, and I know this, is that her drag has always been Spanky Jackson-esque, but she's she's gone with it.
Yeah, nothing
Like
wrong
she
with
hasn't
that.
gone like, I'm going to try and elevate my drag. She's like, you know what? You want to see bad? I'll fucking make sure you see bad drag.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
So,
that.
but they've got. She has a lovely personality. So does Isis Avis. Whenever there's three names, I always end up getting them backwards.
Isis Loren Avis. Isis Avis Loren.
Yeah. She's got a lovely personality. Bumper Love has a great. Bumper
Mhm,
Love's my
I agree.
favorite, but for several reasons. She may not win, and that's fine. She's a good human being. I've heard stories about her. I think she owns a club in Melbourne, owns a
Well,
drag place in
obviously
Melbourne.
she's been someone's boss.
Yeah. So, I was watching Art Simone when they were doing the kick-ons introduction to them all, and she said, because she worked for her as well,
Mhm.
and she was like, they gave them super. They paid for their makeup. She paid for their wigs. Like they were employees rather
Yeah.
than like she was looking after them really, really well. So that's always a bonus in my book. Plus, you know what? She's a 51-year-old Polynesian woman. I'm married to one of those.
I was gonna say you got one of
So
those.
I got me one. So she's automatically going to be in like the top.
Yeah, I think Bumper Love's like my favorites. Rita Menu.
Yeah, I would read a menu up there for favorites too. Not to win, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that they're gonna win. I'm just saying they're my favorites at the moment. And I like Gabriella Labucci.
Same.
And that's pretty much where I'm at.
Ivory Glaze. Is it Ivory? Yeah. Ivory Glaze had already had a Yuri moment about self-doubt and everything. I have a question though. And this is not throwing any shade to anybody. It's a simple question, right? If you're a banking type person and you're just doing drag on the side for shits and giggles and you're not actually performing in clubs, why are you on the show?
No.
You're taking the spot of somebody who
Correct.
needs the exposure to be able to elevate themselves because this is what they do. This is who they are. This is how they live. But you're just doing it for shits and giggles. I don't understand. More importantly, this information would not be new to Rupauls producers. There's some accountability to be held on their behalf as well, because they also approved for this person to take the spot of somebody else. Now, I'm going to say it. I've said it, but I hope she does well. I hope that she goes, you know what? This is my life. Let's get rid of the boring 9-to-5 job. And I hope that she's fucking fierce. I really do. But I believe that you're wasting people's time at this point in time in the competition. Maybe she grows into her own over the next 7 or 8 episodes. I don't know. Maybe she goes out next week. I don't know. But it just, it's, you can't even say that it's not polished, because for it to not be polished, there would have to be some kind of foundation, and there isn't one.
And
Does that make sense?
Well, this what brings me to the performance challenge. So they had a
Yeah.
performance challenge. They wrote the lyrics,
Mhm.
and they did a performance. Has none of them ever lip synced before?
I noticed that too, but I actually think that that could possibly come down to the end. They're on like the world's smallest stage. She had 10 queens doing a fucking huge song and dance routine on a stage that's probably no bigger than my bathroom. You can't do that. Like, it's almost like the producers are setting this season up to fail.
I hate to say it, but Hollywood Star was the only one that I
Only one.
remembered.
Yep.
And even on the runway, I'm unsure what Rita Menu was wearing in the performance. She looked like she was wearing an intestine.
Mhm.
Ashley, again, your clothes didn't fit. Just makes me think that you borrowed them or you couldn't fit them properly.
Nipplegate.
Yeah, I
Nipplegate.
just nipple. Can we just? All right, I'm just gonna prepare myself. But
Okay.
I just hate that my nipples were hanging out and on the stage again. Why?
You know what the best part was? When RuPaul called her out. You were offered pasties and you said no.
Yeah.
But I also found this out today because I watched Kick-Ons
Mhm.
today as well. So it turns out that sometimes if the runway and the main challenge is all in the same day, because it's a long day, usually what happens is the challenge happens while RuPaul's actually in the dressing room getting made up for the main stage part,
Mhm.
right? Because the reactions didn't make sense. Well, like you could see she had this look on her face like, I'm not very, very happy with this. Because I turned around to my wife and I went like this, I went, Rue's not happy with Ashley Madison right now, right? And then it gets to the end of it and they're like this, and I'm like, they're like clapping and cheering and stuff. And I'm like, did I miss something? But it turns out, yeah. So all of that happens and RuPaul watches from the makeup room, the change room, and then comes out and does the runway and does all of that.
It kind of takes
So
away the specialty of it, but anyway.
it does, but you know, it just season 1 was okay. Season 2 was okay. Season 3, I think I said in a previous episode, there are rumors around that they were only ordered for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like the producers and the editors were told to fuck this season up so much that there is no chance of a season 4. It seems like that to me.
Maybe they're trying to bring in the drama element a bit more to
Maybe.
create more, but maybe RuPaul doesn't want to do it again.
Then step aside and give it to somebody else. Give it to Spanky.
Yeah.
Give it to Hannah. Give it to Maxie. Give it to somebody. Give it to Art. Like, give it to somebody who is seasoned, who could probably do this. And you know what? I love RuPaul. I do. Really, really do. RuPaul has elevated the art of drag. I loved RuPaul even before RuPaul was the RuPaul. All of that other stuff. You wanted to show the world the drag from Australia and New Zealand, and you've done that. You haven't committed 100% to it. What makes it even worse is you went on Graham Norton's show and called Down Under Drag ratchet. We wear that with a badge of honor. The fact we acknowledge, like Australia and New Zealand acknowledge that drag's ratchet. That's part of its charm. but you don't need to go on to an international show where you're trying to promote your international show. And then it's like one of those, I can say whatever I want about my family, but don't you.
Yeah.
Right. If the aim was to make sure that she didn't have to come down for RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under season 4, I think she succeeded. I don't think it's going to get picked up for another season. I said this last season too, and then it was season 3, but I don't think it is. But you know what? If you don't want to do it, why don't you do what you did with Canada and just give it to another drag queen?
And
You may
Canada's
have
even
your
closer.
problems. Yeah. You may have your issue with Courtney Act. That's fine. But you're telling me that somebody like, and I hate to say it because, I've got a problem with Queen Kong's personality. Queen Kong, Spanky Jackson, Anaconda,
Molly Pop. Here we go.
Molly Pop, like Art Simone, Kidamine, Karen from Finance. I could see Karen from Finance hosting RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And all of those other names, I can see doing it. And you know what? They're going to know a lot more about the local drag scene. I'm still trying to get over Mariel's wedding instead of her saying Muriel's wedding, but I'm actually disappointed in how this is all gone on from RuPaul and also kind of Michelle. Michelle's got a lot to answer for as well. They need to rejig it. They need to revamp it. If it means that we go down to fucking Wollongong Town Hall and we just get a whole bunch of drag queens and we just sit there with our fucking phones recording it and then chucking it on YouTube and we calling it something else, like, I'm more than fucking willing to do that. Get fucking Roxy and Ella in on it and they can fucking host the shit or whatever it is and it can become an internet sensation and then it can get picked up by Stan or whatever. But RuPaul and the producers and the editors, well, more the producers, not the editors, like the editors just do what they're told. It's almost like they're out to willingly destroy Australia and New Zealand drag for the rest of the world. I've said it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. So I was a little disappointed with Rita Menu's runway. It was just a white corset with dragged fabric. If she had done shit in the performance, she'd definitely be in the bottom.
Now, I get the white and I do understand the white and the blue because they're the trans colors, usually with the pink.
With the pink, correct. I didn't understand. I think she got overlooked. Like, I think, I don't know how she skated by in this one because and also I called this. I called who would be eliminated.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
So when I read off the queens of
you did. You're right. You did.
Yeah. So when she was in the bottom, I was like, no, sorry. Sorry about it. You couldn't fault Hollywood Star. She had a great performance against mediocre, might I add. And then she did have a great runway. It was rainbow.
Black
it
power.
was black power.
Yeah.
It was, I'm sorry, but you can't lose that.
It didn't need the overcoat. I think the overcoat was too much at the beginning. It was too busy. But like as soon as she took it off, I was just like, rock on. Yeah.
So, when you represent black power in such a great way, you're not going to lose. No. And so I couldn't fault her, but you know what? Whenever someone wins the first challenge, usually they're gone within the next 2 to 3 episodes.
Can only live in hope. I have equated her to a cross of Violet Chachki and Lux London Noir.
Okay. But also, okay, let's go to the bottoms, who were Ashley, Amel, and Ivory Glaze. And Ivory Glaze, who looked terrified the entire time, was in the bottom with Amel. I'm sorry, but Down Under Men at Work to lip sync to?
So this is the thing, right? So it's episode 1. RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under season 3. Okay? We've had a little bit of drama. The runways were right. I know that they get asked to take their microphones off while they're performing because they don't want to break the microphones. And the last thing you want to hear is like a drag queen going, like we're just trying to do it or whatever, right? The scene is set, you know, the dun, 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 dun. Everything's all good to go. And then you hear, do, 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 do.
It wasn't even the remix version.
No, there are so many other fucking songs you can listen to. Like I said to my wife, 100%, I said this. I said, now that they've done our official national anthem, which you really can't lip sync to, next week has to be Dave Dobbin's Slice of Heaven.
Oh, yeah. Or
It has to be.
Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Could you imagine that? But, you know.
Look, they weren't, look, they can't perform. If you're trying to lip sync with your tongue, we can't see that. Ivory Glaze was like, I'm like, I can't see. You got to enunciate those words.
Yeah.
So
but as soon as I heard the
yeah, I was like,
oh my God, are you fucking for real? And then, as I said to my wife, next week has to be, otherwise I quit. It has to be Dave Dobbin's Slice of Heaven because you cannot fuck over one country's national anthem and not fuck over the other country's national anthem. Sorry. No.
It's just, yeah, that was shocking. They could have chosen something so much more current that was Australian.
I am telling you, they are actively seeking to make sure this doesn't go to a season 4.
This season all depends on next week's lip sync song.
Yeah, it's hanging off that one song. And if it is Dave Dobbin's Slice of Heaven, buying a lottery ticket. Because Can you imagine drag queens lip syncing to da 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 da? She's a slice of heaven, like no. Moonlight over my horizon. She's a slice of heaven. Like I can't, but they have to do it if they're going to fuck over one country's unofficial national anthem. They have to do the other one.
Yeah.
Well, what's that? How bizarre!
How bizarre!
How bizarre! Ooh,
it's just so fucking. You got to have a tempo. Like you got to have either really slow or really fast. You can't have a mid-range song for a lip sync. So it's all determined by next week's song.
Yeah. But you watch now. What's going to happen is because it was so bad and so poorly executed, it's probably going to be like the #1 drag queen song taking over. Padum padum. Everyone's going to be like lip syncing to Down Under by Men at Work.
Padum padum. I wanted the bum.
So, no bueno with the lip syncing song for episode 1. I would be very disappointed. Maybe they're saving Dave Dobbin's Slice of Heaven for the final lip sync. What's next? Shut up in your face? Like, what else is there? Like, please. Anyway, so long story short, too late. Long story short, Ivory Glaze wins, and we say a goodbye to Amel.
Either one could have gone, wouldn't have cared.
Yeah. Even if it had been a double elimination, I would have been like, eh.
It's one less episode.
Yeah. Actually, I would have liked the 3 of them to lip sync. I would have liked Ashley Madison in that one as well.
Yeah, because all she would have been doing is like pulling the top up.
Mm-hmm. But so that was RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under season 3, and possibly the last season. I'm actually in my head while we're talking, thinking about let's just rent out Wollongong Town Hall. Get a whole bunch of drag queens to perform, one each, film it, chuck it on YouTube, and watch it go viral.
Done.
Wonderful. We'll get in contact with Roxy and Ella and see what we can do about that.
We interrupt this broadcast for Cass's Conspiracy Corner.
Let me tell you something.
Cass's conspiracy corner.
Corner.
Yeah. This is the one that you requested.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I'm just going to give you the brief overview. We're going to talk this through. Okay. So we have known for a long time Area 51, all of those things, is it a balloon, a weather balloon in the sky? Is it a spaceship? All of that. We're going with the alien conspiracy theory. Part of the reason why, and Hailey brought it to my attention, I didn't know. I didn't care. So I'm going to read off this and then we're going to talk about it. So 3 military veterans testified in Congress's highly anticipated hearing on UFOs on Wednesday, including a former Air Force intelligence officer who claimed that the US government has operated secret multi-decade reverse engineering program of recovered vessels, right? So basically he said that the US has uncovered or recovered non-human biologics from alleged crash sites. So the dude went from a major in the Pentagon's task force to becoming a whistleblower. The House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee, that he'd been denied access. He said that he had been denied access to some government UFO programs, but that he knows the exact locations of the things in the US possession. Okay. They actually had 3 people, 2 military, 1 something else, who testified in front of Congress. There's a part of me that believes that we are arrogant to believe that we are the only people in the universe. We're the only creatures in the universe. However, all 3 of them could not back up their words. They could not provide evidence. Is there extraterrestrial life out there?
But of course
Probably.
they wouldn't be able to provide evidence. They would have had that confiscated or like how just
But
go
they
off-
couldn't provide, they could provide the fucking locations then. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can,
but
I was
them,
actually told by an American friend going like, you cannot argue the fact that they've said it. Like they said it in front of Congress. I mean, people lie in front of Congress.
but
It's
them
known.
testifying and saying this stuff has put them in 100% danger.
Yeah.
And then
But,
even if they say a location, what's going to stop the government from moving it?
Well, this is correct. And as I said, it would be downright arrogant for us to believe that we are the only living creatures in the known universe, right? I believe they found insect material on Mars about 15, 20 years ago. Maybe I'm wrong. So there is other life out there. Whether or not they're little green men, I don't know.
They'd have to adapt to whatever planet they're on. So whether that be the fact that they're green because of some issue with the sun, I don't know. But
chances are, look, I've jumped both sides of the coin on this because I've been like trying to think things realistically from both sides.
nah, aliens are real. They're real.
There is every chance that they do have something that they're not willing, to tell the world about. But at the same time, wouldn't you, Americans being how they are, wanting to be right about every single thing and being on the top of the world, like why aren't they going, look, we actually found this shit? But then it goes into the whole conspiracy theory of, did Neil Armstrong land on the moon, or was it a set in Hollywood? Like, it's one of those things where you can provide the evidence, but will anyone believe it? Because they're going to call it manufactured.
Yeah, exactly. And unless you're physically in front of whatever's just landed and you open it up and there's a little green man in there, even so, if I come home and tell you, you're probably not going to believe me because you weren't there. You didn't physically see it. And it's hard to tell these days with the
CGI and all of that stuff.
In the Rocky movies, the CGI is just unbelievable. But
yeah, right.
But it's hard to believe.
Wait. All the CGI in the world still doesn't make Sylvester Stallone a good actor. Like, I'm just throwing it out there.
We just watched the 3 Amigos. The CGI wasn't that great either.
I know, right?
It's everywhere. But anyway,
Yeah.
so 100%, there has to be something else out there. I just think they fly over and go, you guys are fucked, and then just keep going. So
Yeah.
people,
I should have made a right turn at Uranus instead of a left. Yeah, 100%. There is something out there. But it may well be one of those things of, and we laugh and say like they've probably gone overhead and gone, no, fuck this, and taken off or whatever it is. Maybe they're not ready to meet us yet. Maybe they're actually more scared of us than we could ever possibly be of them. I mean, we're killing each other.
They put Elon Musk here because I think Elon Musk is the rejected alien. Like, he's the dumb one out of all of them.
He's the one that John West rejected, right?
Yeah, so they sent him here, and he's like, oh, you guys, you haven't even got like battery powered shit. You're just, going off natural resources. We should probably change that before you use them all up and kill the planet. So he's sort of given us like a heads up, like maybe we should fix this. But I reckon he's the dumb one. I reckon he's not allowed to go back. I think that's why he wants to go into space so hard, because he wants to get back to wherever he comes from. They're already here. I have no doubt that they're already here.
Oh, 100%. I say 100% like I actually mean 100%. That's just a thing. We can't possibly be the only living beings, whatever form they're in. I'm sure they exist. But having said that, okay, this thought entered my head. What if they're not advanced enough to get their asses over here? I have a question though. Why is it all of these extraterrestrial alien spaceship encounters only ever happen in America?
Well, they probably happen here, but no one cares about us. We're ratchet. They think we're made up. They think America thinks we are made up.
Well, maybe they think that we're the aliens.
We probably
I'm going to tell you something. I found this out today, okay? This is how much Americans are up their own ass. I mean, I love some of my best friends are Americans, and I love you all, and some of, but, okay, so the FINA World Swimming Championships are on. And you know what? Australia was going great until China won every gold medal in the diving pool. But that's a different story, right? So usually how you decipher the winning country in the medal tallies is it goes by gold medals only, right? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter how many silvers or bronze, it's how many gold you won. That's how the ladder goes, okay? So 2 days ago, Australia was on top with, I want to say 12 gold medals at the time. Mm-hmm. China was on 3 and China was on 5 and the US were on 3, right? So, and I think there was a country in between. So that means that by however many 100 odd years that the Olympics has been going, Commonwealth Games, all of those other things where gold medal determines which country is the best at the games, right? That formula has never changed. So Australia is on top with 10 or 12 gold medals, blah, 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 yada, yada. Because the US were not on top because they hadn't won gold medals, they decided to show the medal tally from the amount of total medals won, right? Meaning that because they came second and third a lot, they actually were at the top of the table with 29 medals in total, and Australia were third or fourth on the list with like 18.
Don't get prizes for fourth.
Right? So that's what the US do and think. So they've changed the format of every single kind of sporting function you could ever possibly imagine where medals are awarded, so they could put themselves back up on top. So this is the country that could very well have made up aliens and all of that and only ever had them come to visit the US because they believe the rest of the world doesn't exist. Size-wise, this is to any Americans who are listening. Country size-wise, the United States and Australia are very similar in size. In fact, there's only 1 million square kilometers that affect the difference between the US and Australia, and that's the US is bigger by 1 million square kilometers.
And I also understand that we did horrible things as well.
We did do horrible things.
I just want to say, I also understand that we lost a war to emus. I get it.
And we built a fence to keep rabbits out.
Yeah.
The population of the US is sitting around 310, 320 million. Australia is probably 26 to 27 million in population.
Yeah, and we're still beating you in swimming.
And we have officially, because I think everything's over now, we have officially kicked your ass by more than 2 times. China had 1.6 billion and only beat us by, I think, 3 gold medals. And that was, they were quite far down in the thing, and then they won pretty much every diving event. When I say that it's arrogant for us to think that there is nobody else out there in the universe, it goes along with the arrogance of the United States, who believe that there's nobody else outside of the United States. Breakthroughs in modern science and all of that have not been coming out of the United States. You know, but they've also had the money and all of that to back themselves up with the space race and, you know, outer space and, you know, the International Space Station, all of that other stuff. That's fine. When it comes to aliens, I'm on the fence. I mean, I'm one of those, if you prove it to me, I'm on board. Because okay, this is the best way to do it. This is the best way to think about it. This is me, right? You can't prove to me if God does or doesn't exist, right? If you prove it to me that God does exist, I'm on board. If not, I'm happy either way. Same thing with aliens. Unless you can actually show me physical evidence that this is real, I'm 100% on board. If it's not real, I'm okay with that too. Do I think that there's possibly life out there? Yeah, I do. But, you know, don't put it under cloak and daggers. Like, people actually have a right to know this stuff. And for the United States, if they do have this stuff, to hold it so close to their chest for people to not be able to be prepared for anything that could possibly happen is actually quite dangerous. But we already know that the United States is a loaded gun. They would much rather protect, you know, the rights of gun owners than innocent children who are getting slain. So,
preach.
you know, I mean, I love them, but fuck them. You know,
I only like some of them.
I only like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm the same. And, you know, this is a country that willingly acknowledges that they are homophobic, transphobic and all of that, and still have no problem with it. You know, they have no innocent people are getting fucking murdered every single day just for being for themselves. But you know what? Let's just protect everybody from the possible alien shit we've got.
You know what? Along with Patricia, United States is right up there with the hate.
Ass hats.
Fuck you, Patricia.
Marco.
We're gonna
get we are. Well, we're gonna find out if aliens are real because they're gonna set the aliens after me.
They're gonna come visit us.
I slagged off an entire nation. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? It's just that's just called Sunday afternoon, really.
Well, it is
my
really.
house.
Yeah. Shall we do the local drag shows?
Yes, we shall.
Okie dokie. Alrighty, so we got something a little new. Illawarra and Roxy Horror from down Dugong Way is doing a Drago Bingo fundraiser on the 18th of August from 7 to 10:30 at Steelers Function Room in, is it Burrell Street,
Borelli.
Wollongong? Borelli Street, Wollongong. It's going to be an 80s themed one, so come along dressed up or in bright colours, ready to play bingo with the queens. There's going to be bingo, games, canapes, music, and lucky door prizes. They got the tickets are limited and they're available for $59. Okay, so that'll actually be a little bit of fun. There's a little bit of a QR code situation down the bottom of the thing, but I'm sure Hailey can chuck that up somewhere. We'll get that all sorted out. So for the regular drag shows for Sydney and Melbourne, on Thursdays from 7 p.m, drag bingo with Tina Bicky and Dionysus at the Imperial. Thursdays from 10 p.m, Intergalactic with Space Horse, who I'm so excited I'm going to probably see again in Melbourne. I love her. Eli Crawford and Tina Bicky. Saturdays, 8 and 9 p.m, Slayer on Saturdays with Maxi Shield and Gabe Woods at the Oxford. Thursdays from 7:30 p.m, Trivia with Jackie Daniels at Kinsellers. And Fridays at the Oxford, Rupauls Drag Race Down Under viewing party with Felicity Froccaccino. Fuck my drag, right? Because I look at that every now and then in our messages. In Melbourne, Thursdays from 9 p.m, Hey Henny at Circuit with a rotating cast. Fridays from 7:30 p.m, Rupauls Drag Race Down Under viewing parties, screenings at Molly's Bar and Diner. Wednesdays, Drag Bingo at Molly's Bar and Diner with Isis Avis Loren from RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 3 and Jemima Handful and Miss J. Wednesdays is New Gigs on the Block hosted by Holly Day Night at Circuit with a cycle of 3 superstars, Aboleth Adams, Ruby Princess and Zsa Zsa Lugosi. How was that? It's a mouthful. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and hit the little bell for notification. Going back to what I said at the beginning of the show, I honestly mean this. If you have something constructive to say that you do not agree with on this show or you do not like, please, by all means, put it in there. If you're going to be a mean, nasty fucker, fuck off.
Yeah, monkey number 5.
Yeah.
This stinks. We shower before each podcast, so how can you smell us?
I do. I shower before we record each podcast.
Correct.
Even if I had a shower that morning, I still shower. This is not 4D smell-o-vision, but you know what? I do it because I want to look nice and fresh for you people, because I don't do the makeup thing or anything like that. This is me. This is what I look like in real life to you off the camera. But anyway, so if you have something constructive to say, or there is anything that you would like to add, or there is anything that you would like to possibly change, and it's constructive, we're going to take it on board. And if we agree, we're going to try and do it. We're going to adapt. We're adaptable people. So hit like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notification. We really should put that subscribe thing flashing up somewhere at some point, but whatever. And if you are listening to us through a podcast platform, i.e. iTunes or Spotify, please give us 5 stars, leave a review. The same thing goes for that it does for YouTube. Please be constructive. If you're going to be an arsehole about it, I have the power to remove that stuff, and I will, because I don't want negativity of any kind. What else is there? Any drag queens who would like to come on, please DM us on Insta at DragMeOutOfficial. We want to know about you. We want to put you out there in the world as well. I'm still brewing on this idea about the town hall thing. Yeah, and just thank you everybody who have actually been nice to us. We really do like it and appreciate it. Hailey, have you got anything?
Fuck you, Patricia.
Pat, you're a toe rag. You are such a toe rag.
Hate
Pat.
you.
We hate you.
We hate
Pat,
you.
toe rag, bitch. Stop using Hailey's number. Fucking milk jockey. Yeah. So thank you everybody, and we will come back next week for RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 3. Father of the Bride 1 and 2 with Steve Martin Short. Probably some other stuff. I don't know, maybe a new segment. I don't know. Maybe something may pop up. I don't know. We may have a special guest. We may not. The only way you're going to find out is to tune in or to listen to us. So yeah, just thanks for everybody. We love you all, except those ones who say bullshit, rude fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mwah. Ba 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 ba.